I'm here in my hotel room at the Super Bowl wearing my Dallas Cowboy hat only because this is the closest Dallas Cowboys will ever get to the Super Bowl, at least in my lifetime. But I don't want to talk about football right now. I want to talk NBA. I want to talk two of the all-time dumbest trades in NBA history, much dumber to me than the Luka trade was. And that's James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers. What? And Anthony Davis to anybody, especially Wash. What? What are you doing? And I'll tack on a quick note about the shrewdest operator in all of professional basketball, Sam Presti, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who struck again. But let's start with James Harden. The second most talented loser in NBA history to Wilt Chamberlain. At least Wilt did win a ring with the Lakers. Bill Russell owned him in finals after finals. But James Harden, the beard, the beloved beard, that beard camouflages a choke artist all time, incomparably bad when you need him most. And look what just happened. James Harden, now 36, he'll turn 37 in August, is having a little bit of a resurgence. He got in a little better shape. He looks much better physically, physique-wise. Averaging 25 a game, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. For the LA Clippers, back home in Los Angeles, and all of a sudden, after a horrendous start to the year for the Clippers, they go on a streak in which they win 16 of 19 games. And all of a sudden, somebody upstairs, maybe it started with Ty Lue downstairs, said, you know what? We've seen the end of this movie, and we don't want to see it again. They'd almost climbed back to 500, threatening to creep into the play-in tournament, and kaboom, they trade James Harden to Cleveland for Darius Garland, who did go to my school, Vanderbilt, briefly. Look, I like Darius Garland. I can't say I love him. He did make an all-star team. He has averaged 19 points a game for his career. He is fighting double toe injuries, big toe injuries, which is a little daunting and a little scary. But he's a 39% career three-point shooter, hit 40% from three a year ago. And he does have one career high of 9 assists. So he's pretty good and did make that one all-star team. But the point is, why would Cleveland, with a chance to win the East, a good chance to win the East, even though they've gotten off to a rocky start, why would you go acquire a James Harden who has clearly demonstrated when it matters most, he has nothing but loser intangibles? And I will demonstrate quickly for you, chapter and verse. Loser intangibles. They say, well, gee, he's so good in the pick and roll. He is. He's an artiste on the perimeter and attacking. He's got the greatest slither to him I think I've ever seen. 6'5", lefty, slither, can get to the free throw line and get your bigs to the rim. Okay, I got it. So all of a sudden you say, let's bring Evan Mobley and Jared Allen back to life on the offensive end. I got it. But when you least expect it, when you need him most, in some closeout game in the first round, or this, if you make it, fortunately enough, to the second round, he won't be there. He'll get you right between the eyes. He'll get you right in the heart because he cannot be trusted with the season on the line. Repeatedly has shown you cannot be trusted. Cleveland, why would you do this to yourself? Chapter and verse of James Harden. It started early on with those baby Thunder in 2012, getting to the finals against LeBron. LeBron's breakthrough year. Me and D. Wade, Chris Bosh. Oklahoma City wins game 1, loses barely game 2. So I'm thinking, well, we'll have an interesting run here. And we go to Miami for 3 games. I was there, of course. And games 3 and 4 are disasters for, I know he wasn't starting at this point, but he was a crucial sixth man off the bench. He killed my San Antonio Spurs in the conference finals coming off the bench. Games 3 and 4 at Miami. He goes 2 of 10 and 0 for 4 from 3 in game 3, 2 of 10 in game 4 and 1 of 5 from 3, had 4 turnovers in each game. Wound up a combined minus 26 in those 2 games, and that was basically the end of that series. Then he, of course, goes to Houston, close out game 6 the next year against those Thunder. He goes 7 of 22 in the closeout game with 4 more turnovers. And then let's leap forward to 2015. The Rockets losing 5 to Golden State. Closeout game at Golden State. James Harden goes 2 of 11 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3, with an NBA playoff record 12 turnovers. Remember that game? 12 turnovers, closeout game. And then that classic APB out for James Harden, still out there in Houston, Texas. The game against my San Antonio Spurs, a closeout game at Houston, game 6. There's no Kawhi Leonard for the Spurs, and there's no Tony Parker for the Spurs, and there's no Danny Green for the Spurs. They are really up against it that night, and they won that game by 39 points because James Harden went 2 of 11, 2 of 9 from 3 with 6 turnovers. Remember the KD game when now James had gone to Brooklyn? The KD toe on the line game, or they win that game. His sidekick, James, who he lived and died to play with and play for. Game 7 at home at Brooklyn. James Harden went 5 of 17, 2 of 12 from 3 with 4 turnovers, and yet KD almost saved him. KD ran out of gas, of course, in overtime, and Giannis and company prevailed in 7 games. Remember what happened when he went to Philadelphia, James Harden? Man, this is 2022. It's game 6, a closeout game at home against Miami. And James just doesn't show up. He winds up playing 43 minutes and scoring 11 total points on 9 shots. I don't know why he just didn't want to play. This is game 6 at home, closeout. Do or die. Didn't shoot a single free throw. Help me out. Loser. Then you'll remember those classic Boston games. Sixers go up 3 games to 2. And then in games 6 and 7, here's the combined numbers for those 2 games for James Harden. 7 of 27, 1 of 11 from 3, a grand total of 22 points in 2 games, 10 total turnovers in those 2 games. Combined minus 40 in those 2 ugly as sin games against the Boston Celtics. Then as a Clipper against Dallas, this is 2024, game 6, closeout game. 5 of 16 from the floor and 0 of 6 from 3. And then who can forget? I know Clipper fans want to forget but can't what happened last year against Denver. It was a huge game. It was at Denver, but it was game 7. I thought the Clippers had a chance, even a chance against my Thunder. But game 7, they lost. The Clippers did by 19 because their man James Harden went 2 of 8. He only took 8 shots in the game. 2 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. Shot a grand total of 2 free throws. Did make them both. He's a good free throw shooter. Scored 7 points and was a minus 29 in that game. So help me out. Career-wise, what have we seen from the loser who is James Harden? Classic loser intangibles. We saw him quit his way out of Houston because he wanted to go to Brooklyn. And then we saw him quickly lose interest there and quit his way out of Brooklyn to get to the man who loved him in Houston, Daryl Morey, the GM in Philadelphia. And quickly that flipped around into him quitting his way out of Philadelphia to get home to the Clippers. back where it all began for him, born in Southern California, very near to where the Clippers now play. Wanted to be a Clipper for the rest of his basketball life, and they just said no to James Harden. After winning 16 of 19 with him leading the way, Kawhi's leading the way, but he was averaging 25 a game. So many unmemorable flameouts, so many epic fails in the postseason for James Harden that I think they just said, what are we doing? We at least got to get younger, because he's not going to get younger down the stretch of the season. And then we all know what's going to happen if we eke into the postseason. He'll epic fail us when we need him the most. Biggest loser in NBA history, most talented loser in NBA history, this side of Wilt Chamberlain. And again, maybe I should flip those and put James number one over Wilt, because he did win that ring with the supremely talented Lakers. That brings me to Anthony Davis. I still don't get it. I like that trade, and you can ridicule me, you can scoff, you can scream, I'm just not a huge Luka fan. He plays no defense. It's just hard to win with Luka Doncic. That's the point and the problem. It's hard to win. I know they got to the finals kind of by hook or crook. He got hot from three. He's high volume, second most three-point attempts to Steph. And he's been on a little bit of a hot streak from three, but he's going to settle into being a 34, 35% three-point shooter with the second most attempts, while Steph will be up there at 44, 45%. It's so many empty trips. It's hard to overcome. By his standards, by his MVP caliber standards, lousy free throw shooter and no defender. So Anthony Davis, again, when he's right, when he's healthy, and you got me, he hasn't been healthy since he went to Dallas, and I don't know why, because I've seen Anthony Davis play most of full seasons. I saw him win a ring, albeit a Mickey Mouse ring in the bubble in Orlando with LeBron, but I saw he was the driving force of that team, and he was the biggest reason they won that ring. And I have seen him play 76 games. Just 2 years ago, he played 76 of 82 games, and twice in his career, he's played 75 games. It was just bad luck for the GM, Nico Harrison, who finally had to pay with his basketball life. Somebody had to be sacrificed. And so what happened before the year started, I loved this team because I thought maybe Kyrie would try to hurry back, maybe sometime around the trade deadline, All-Star break, that he would come back, and you get fairly full-speed Kyrie with a healthy Anthony Davis, who, by the way, in the games he has played for the Mavericks, he's 20-11, clockwork, 32 years of age, not too old. He can still give you 2-3 big-time dominant years. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He plays defense. Not just good defense, he plays great defense, dominating defense, game-changing defense. Anthony Davis, just what the doctor ordered for the Mavericks to get over the hump to win a championship. I really liked this team before the year started because I knew Cooper Flagg was going to be really good. I told you right here on this podcast, he's going to be really, really good. And he's really good. And I'm looking at this Dallas team. If you give me a fairly healthy Kyrie and a fairly healthy Anthony Davis and an up-and-coming Cooper Flagg, who's a difference maker, along with P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively has been lost for the year with the foot injury, coming off the bench, and Najee Marshall and Max Christie, who got thrown in with the trade. I like him a lot. This is a 3-and-D guy. Dante Exum, Jaden Hardy, they're now traded to Washington in this latest deal, but that's a squad. And a writer who covers the Lakers for ESPN.com, Dave McMenamin, I have high regard for. He really knows AD's game because he's been covering those teams, the good and the bad, but he knows the good. And apparently, Dave McMenamin liked this trade so much that before the year started, he did exactly what I did. He picked the Dallas Mavericks to lose in the conference finals to the Oklahoma City Thunder. To lose in the conference finals. So did I. So, man, if Dave believed, I feel pretty good about my pick, which now doesn't look very good because Anthony Davis is no longer a Dallas Maverick. And he's not simply because ownership finally decided that it's such a stain. There's still such a backlash, such an outcry of we lost Luka. And it's not that Luka can win you a championship. It's that he can entertain you the way nobody can entertain you in the game today. He's always smiling, laughing, and needling, getting on the referees every single play. It drives. I find it unwatchable. To tell you the truth, seriously, I watch every Laker game, and I turn to my wife Ernestine half the time, and I just say, I'm ready to turn this off because every shot he takes, every move he makes, call or no call, he turns to the referee like, and then it's like, hey, you're a stupid fool. You don't get it. You don't know how to do. You don't operate on the genius level I operate on. I'm sorry. I can't stomach him after a while and what he gets away with. He should be a walking technical foul, ejected quickly from games. But no, and I'll be the first to admit he's fun to watch because he's a magician. He is a creative genius, and I don't know how he does it because it's all awkward helter-skelter movement, herky-jerky, out of rhythm. Defenders can't time it. He fouled me. Okay. I don't know, but it's Hollywood, it's entertainment. I got that, and they missed that dearly in Dallas. Well, did they win a championship? Because Nico built the makings of a championship team, and I still love that trade for the Mavericks, but I cannot defend that AD immediately went unhealthy in Dallas, and he's had his bouts and spates of unhealthiness as a track record. But he is a really, really good basketball player, the way you should be on both ends of the floor. They finally just said, we have to get rid of Nico, any vestige of Luka, to remind people of just how bad this trade was, how it wrecked this franchise. We have to get rid of Nico, which they did. And then they finally decided, we just have to get AD out of here because he reminds everybody of who's not here, Luka. It's all-time stupid to trade Anthony. He's got at least 3 really big-time dominating years left if he can stay healthy. But his track record shows you that he will stay healthy. He's going to have lengthy, healthy seasons. God bless the Wizard. They needed something. They haven't had anything since Jordan, right? Forgive me, Gilbert Arenas. And they barely had Jordan at the end. I don't understand it. How can you give him up? You had the makings of a championship right there in the palms of your hand, and now he's a Wizard? What? Which brings me to my hometown, Oklahoma City. Sam Presti, just running championship rings around the league, has stockpiled so many draft picks that now SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, has some kind of weird oblique pull, some kind of stomach muscle pull, and he'd had a little trouble with his forefinger on his shooting hand. They need to rest him. They can stockpile more talent. And so they go get the former 16th pick in the draft, Jared McCain, out of Duke for the Sixers. And he has been an injury problem, an injury waiting to happen as a 16th overall pick. But early last season, when I watched him, I saw flare and flash, and he can be a social media superstar. Great kid, great personality, fit perfectly in with the all-for-one, one-for-all Oklahoma City Thunder as yet another two-guard, 6'3", 195 pounds, can shoot it. Showed you right away last year played only 23 games before he tore his meniscus, but he's 38% three-point shooter, and he's going to make his free. He's 88% from the free throw line. Averaged 15 a game early last year as just a raw rookie. Tore his meniscus, not a big deal. It's not tearing your ACL. Scope it, clean it up, and they shelved him the rest of the year. And then just before season started this year, he tore a ligament in the thumb on a shooting hand, so he's had a tough year. And I'm pretty sure he'll turn right back into, when he gets healthy, this 16th overall pick. That's what he's going to do. And Sam Presti just went and stole him. Had picks galore. Picks just laying around the office. Okay, I'll do this one, this one, and this one. Here. And I'm looking at this team with SGA still scoring 32 a game, leading the league. And Chet has now turned into an all-star, and if they ever get their other all-star from last year healthy, Jalen Williams, my God, they're going to have triple all-stars. And then I look down the list of A.J. Mitchell's averaging 14 a game. He is a player. And Aaron Wiggins is averaging 8, and he's a player. And Isaiah Joe can shoot the lights out on any given night, is averaging 10. And Cason Wallace is averaging 8 and can defend with anybody, including the best defender they have, Lou Dort. Kenrich Williams is averaging 6. I didn't even mention Alex Caruso, who can disrupt with anybody going on defense, and he'll still give you 6 a game. And now you throw in, Jared McCain. So he's going to be coming off the bench at some point when he gets healthy. And some night he'll just light it up and score 25. Just watch. He'll have a 25 in him here or there. Maybe it'll be a playout game. Maybe it'll be a James Harden Memorial closeout game, and all of a sudden you push the right button. Let's push the Jared McCain button. Kaboom! He comes in and goes nuclear. All these kids can go nuclear. They just got them stockpiled. Deepest team in the league. Most unified team in the league. Happiest team in the league. And if they become a fairly healthy team, you better look out, because they are perfectly positioned to go back to back. James Harden, all-time loser. Dallas Mavericks, who I covered originally when they first originated in Dallas, turned into losers. They had it and they lost it. And it's not Luka that they lost. They just lost their way with AD. Those two trades will stick with me as 2 of the all-time dumbest trades, even beyond the Luka.